Monday, and let's draw. So I jumped right back into my Instagram for an Inktober post for inspiration. So this was the prompt for teaming, and this is the sticker we're going to end up with today. So I'm going to try to talk a little bit more about my process while we're watching, but it is a little fast, so I apologize. Even right there, I already picked the color, so who knows what I was doing. So here we are, we're in Sketchbook Pro, and I'm saying Pro because the first time I used it, I hadn't paid for it, and I wondered why I didn't have any features. So right now, the tool that I'm playing with is that squiggly line that kind of looks like a slanted S at the top. It's a predictive line tool, which I found out is really great for making all these curves as far as like the tentacles go. What it does is it had like a few levels, but when you make a line, it will decide what you were really trying to do. So basically, if I make a curve and my curve is kind of choppy, it smooths it out. So that's how I was using it. I'm sure there's a better way to describe that. Now what I'm doing is I just kind of did a flat color of the pink that I wanted, and I'm going in there and using the select tool to dig out all those holes because I'm going to just have black behind them. And now's the fun part of trying to figure out what shade or colors are going to be. So while I'm trying to figure this out using all the paintbrushes and messing with the settings, I will mention I have locked myself in a friend's bedroom at the moment in order to record this audio, and there's a football game on. So if you hear screaming in the background, which I already had to kind of re-record part of this because it got really loud. So if you hear that, that's what it is. So that's just what it is. I'm not killing anyone in the background. So anyway, there's so many brushes and brush settings in this app, so I'm really not great with them all. So you'll see that I'm using this like fountain pen kind of nib. I kind of tweaked that one to something I like, so I use that one a lot. There's like a scratchy brush that I use a couple of times, and other than that, like everything else, I'm really not sure what I like yet. But this one I definitely like. It has the way the settings are. It's a little. It's not perfectly smooth, but it's smooth. Like it feels the closest to using like a pen to actually ink something. So it still has a little bit of roughness to the lines themselves. So you can kind of see they don't look perfect. It's not like this isn't vector quality. I'm not drawing it in a way where it's going to be super smooth and super clean. So I kind of like that feeling because it still reminds me of drawing it just with a pencil or a pen or inking it traditionally. So I do like that particular one. Now, I don't know if that's like a good one or a bad one, or I don't know, because I haven't tried them all out, and there is quite a few. There's a set in there that are glowing, so they kind of have like a brightness to them. It's almost like they already have a filter applied, so I haven't played with that so far. But here I am using that predictive line. I really just love the predictive line, so you can see I'm going in now, and I'm using the same pen that I like to try to put in some of those shadows and dark spots. But using the predictive, it just smooths them out. So if they're curved, it makes the curve nice and soft, and if I'm trying to like keep with a line or keep the same shape, it kind of helps it out a little bit. It's also the kind of thing where if you're trying to draw a circle and you draw like an oval, it snaps it to a circle. Like it really helps like tell you what it should be. So here for the highlights, I'm still using the predictive because it makes them look more fluid. You can mess with it the more you put it up. So if you do like a squiggly line, if you put that level all the way up to like, 3 or 4, whatever I think it goes to, it'll take your slightly squiggly line and just turn it into a straight line or a bow line. But for the most part, it's really great. So here I go kind of messing with some textured brushes. And this like was really fun because I used to love brushes in Photoshop like a lot. And so this kind of reminded me of doing that, like being able to mess with like the spacing on some of them. So this one was like a speckled one, and I didn't really have to do too much tweaking to that particular one. And so I just applied, you can see on the layers panel on the side, it says like overlay. So you can apply a blending layer, like style to your layer, change the opacity. So those little dots are a little bit darker in some spots, and then I have lighter ones in other spots. And now, back to my absolute favorite pen, doing the white and the highlights. So, you can kind of see, I kind of do, I don't know, I say my process is kind of the same. Maybe it's not always, but I think for this particular app and doing some of the things in here, my process has been pretty much the same. I start with my pencil sketch. I lay down some, like, flat colors, just, like, solid colors. I go in, I try to do the black line work early on, because the black line work just, it feels like something's happening. So I like to see that line work done as soon as possible. Then I go in and put like my details, and then I try to like mess with stuff. So here you see I'm messing with all kinds of colors to get some shades, and really I'm just playing around with the blending options. And that's what I end up with. So, not so bad. So there's my sticker. I feel like this is my favorite one so far. So, I don't know. Maybe I will actually get these printed. So, thanks again for Cory's sticker stent challenge. So, if you haven't already, check him out, website or YouTube. And thanks for watching. Later.